Hi, my name is Alex Jacques and I make custom straight razors. You can find more about me and my razors at www.customrazors.com. So now I'm up to the 8K hone level. I think it's important to mention that up until this point I've used the continuous rolling X pattern, and when you use that pattern, it's probably fair to say that a lot of the traditional methods of testing the razor's edge, like the arm hair test or the thumb pad, well, the thumb to the pad test might work better, but a lot of like the shaving type tests or hair popping tests won't really be that valid because you're really using this method to, as a fast way to progress up through the grit levels. It's not going to refine the edge like you want to at a higher grit. We will get to that. But up until the 8K level and continuing forward through most of the 8K level, I've been and I will be using the continuous rolling X pattern. So for myself, up until this level, I've relied on the microscope, making sure that past the 1K level not to damage the edge in any way. I also go by the sound that the razor makes on the hone and the feel on the hone, and until I get to the end shaving level, I don't really check the edge much. Now your experience may vary because a lot of this comes through practice and knowing what to look for. And again, when I make my own razors, I know a lot of the things that I'm looking for because there aren't really unknowns in the razor itself. So remember, I'm keeping my finger on the spine of the razor most of the time, not applying pressure. It's just to support the razor to make sure that I'm getting full contact with the edge at the toe. If you use a lot of pressure, especially at the higher grits, you can really screw up the geometry of the bevel itself, especially with tape because the tape can compress. You can dig the edge into the hone. You can just ruin the edge that you've kind of come so far to make so fine. And at the higher levels, you really put yourself back using pressure. At the lower grits, you can kind of get away with it more, but still it's undesirable. So just keep that in mind. So once you're at a point where you feel that the razor's ready to go on to the next grit level, and you've checked the edge, made sure it looks good, sounds good, feels good, I'll do a couple standard rolling X's just to kind of refine the edge and get it ready for that last hone level. It might just be me being superstitious or my own personal preference, but makes me feel a little bit better about going up to the 12K. So now I'm ready to start honing with the 12K, and I should mention that up until this point we've used the continuous rolling X pattern, then some rolling X's by themselves at the end of the 8K to prepare the edge for the 12K. One thing that I'll mention that again I haven't really tested the edge much. I've just relied on feel and experience from honing. So some guys talk about over honing and might disagree with my thoughts on it, but I really don't think about overhoning. I've never experienced an overhoned edge. Obviously, you're taking metal away, so at the lower grit levels, it's something to consider. But at the higher grits, I really wouldn't worry about honing it too much. You want to make sure the edge is there, and a few extra strokes could be the difference between a shave-ready razor and a razor that's not quite there yet. So, I'd encourage guys trying to, hone their own razors not to really worry about the number of strokes more than the quality of the edge. I don't count the total number of strokes that I use. Maybe I use more than some people, but who knows? I feel that I get good edges off the razors, and a lot of guys will agree. So now we're ready to start on 12K. So again, on 12K, I start off with the continual rolling X pattern. The real purpose is for speedy honing. You'll remove all the previous scratch patterns from the grip before, and it'll get you to the level that you want a little bit quicker, I find. You can probably equate this method of honing to using circles when you're honing a razor, which is where guys go down the hone, making circular patterns on one side and then continue on the next. I find that this method keeps more of an equal contact along the edge. You don't get odd spots where you have to kind of concentrate on one spot at a time. I just find that it's more like a regular honing stroke but faster, which is really what I always look for. So now I think the edge is at a point where I can go to a regular rolling X to really finish it up. I'm not really worried about checking the edge. I know it's where I want it to be. I can feel it and hear it, and you can see it along the edge. So I'll go ahead and finish up with some regular rolling X's. Again, at this point I'm using basically no pressure at all on the spine of the razor or the razor resting on the hone. It's really just about refining that edge to the most precise point that you can get it to. So at this point, I've finished up on the 12K level. I've stropped the razor. I've applied some 0.5 micron chromium oxide on a pasted strop, essentially. So stropping, you use whatever you have. You don't even need the 0.5 micron if you don't have it or if you don't want it. So now the razor's passing the hanging hair test. Not much else to do, strop it up, shave, and hopefully that will pass that test as well. Again, if you have any more questions, you can reach me at my website. That's www.customrazors.com. My name is Alex Jacques. I make custom razors, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks.